said you want to see more from Cloud9 in the mid-game. How do they execute on that? What sort of composition would give them the edge where they feel comfortable to make that happen?
I mean, they've picked compositions that should work with this. Like, they've picked things like they've had the Glaive on I Love Joseph. They've had the Taka on I Love Joseph. Like, they've had these picks that should be able to find fights in the mid game and able to. Yeah, it's not their drafts. It has nothing to do with what they're playing. It's just how they're playing.
It's like you're driving a Ferrari, right? You get out on the freeway and you're like,
65's good.
You get up to 100 super quick and you're like, it doesn't feel right, team. I'm going to throttle this beast down. And they do.
Well, I was talking about how you don't get your picks. If you ban Koshka away and Gankstars says, hey, we really don't want you to have Lyra, you're going to get the Adagio. That's scary. That's very, very scary.
Gankstars of all people should know not to give old school Adagio.
Well, I don't think they would have done that without a plan here, so let's see what they have in store. I mean, we have seen the Fortress do very well into Adagios, beating it.
I mean, a lot of people have let old school have the Adagio thinking they had a plan. They usually end up with a loss.
Well, Gankstars are in a position right now where they can't take one.
All right, Gankstars, they've made the decision to go for the Fortress. Like you were saying, Humanist, I think that makes a lot of sense. Lance going to be the ban away. Cloud9 now gets to respond.
My guess is that I haven't seen Have we seen Xenotech play Fortress?
We have not.
So, I mean, I would guess that this isn't going to be the case, but I legit think with these guys being in a house, and we talked about them being very adaptable in their build pass and innovative, as Jackson would say, maybe we could see Xenotech on that, but just not from what we've seen.
Yeah, I think it's much more likely to be a Captain Fortress. That would be my preference anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bacon, we haven't seen the Jungle Fortress do so well, especially in North America.
Well, we saw it have a little bit of success earlier today in a couple different games.
In Europe.
So, yeah.
If Europe can make it work.
Cloud9 banning away the Glaive, moving eloquently on.
Eloquent extended analysis.
Gankstars, what are they going to pick up for their second lock-in here? Could maybe go for a carry. Could go for a captain if they want to jungle the Fortress. And really, they've got all kinds of options right now.
Yeah, I mean, everything is available, obviously, except what's been banned and picked up previously. But there's so many different options. Just in case anyone didn't know how this works.
Yeah, I mean, what? I blacked out. I forgot what was going on. I think based off of the picks so far, the bans, I think Ringo could slide in actually fairly easily and not be countered out too hard. And specifically, I think there's a good chance that we do see that Adagio go to lane. Vox probably struggles into that pretty hard. You wouldn't want to put him behind, and they lock it in.
I like the Ringo here. I mean, Ringo plus Fortress is pretty aggressive. It can certainly make some plays.
Yeah. And if you're looking to have that stutter stepping, a little bit extra movement speed, never hurts when you're trying to chase someone down with a Ringo.
Never helps when you're trying to run away.
Cloud9, they get to answer with 2 picks here. So what would you like to see from them to deal with the aggression from the Fortress, from the Ringo?
I love trying to outdraft myself. This is fun.
I wouldn't mind seeing Cloud9 grab a Taka here. Taka is really good at just jumping onto Ringo and just making his life miserable.
It's a Joseph hero for sure.
Exactly. Or a Kroll. Kroll could work too.
And Kroll with Adagio is something we've actually seen a decent amount of, especially over in Europe. Very, very popular combo. It's going to be the pedal, though. We saw Joseph play this, if I recall correctly.
Oh, yeah. This is his jam. He's on that pedal jam. I mean, you think about it this way. If a team wants to run at you, what's better than just sitting in a pile of seeds wherever you're retreating to? I mean, that's incredibly hard to get through.
It is, and also you've got this verse which is going to be very good at saying, hey, you guys aren't able to enter this area. If you do, you're going to get hit by the seeds. A lot of zone control coming out from Cloud9.
Yeah, this is pretty good. The only thing is, I mean, but that's assuming ideal positioning, ideal team fights, ideal progression and levels and items. That's not always the case.
It is interesting to me that with that Vox pickup, Cloud9 is saying that they're not giving old school the Adagio.
Yeah.
When I feel like that, I mean, maybe he just doesn't feel that way anymore. He hasn't had a chance to play it that much because it's always banned.
Maybe he's trying to like wean himself off of it before the update when he gets
so
nerfed.
That people, or it's just like not playing it a bunch so people forget just how dominant he is on it type of thing.
Or they think this is just stronger.
Whoa. No. What? No.
There is nothing. I will go on record right now as saying there's nothing in North America stronger than old school and Adagio.
Well, I wonder what old school would
Whoa.
say to that. I'm curious.
I-
Taka. So it's a Captain Fortress, Taka and Aringa. That's some serious early game.
It's a lot of mortal wounds, and I guess that's what they're going for with the Adagio and the pedal there. But Taka into pedal.
I mean, if you're the one always aggressing, how
Yeah.
bad can it possibly
Yeah,
be?
I mean, if you are moving forward, which that's what their comp want to do, then it does all right. If Joseph has advantage, you decide to run away, it's gonna fall apart. This game is going to be really good. Honestly, these fights probably go back and forth throughout the course of this.
The thing for me, right, is that this game we have two teams that I would describe as like closely matched. I think Gankstars have the edge in synergy. I think Cloud9 have the edge in individual talent. At least, maybe that's the traditional way of looking at it. I think Xenotech's making a strong argument for that not being the case anymore.
I think Iraqi and Rekt are making the same argument.
they're all making good arguments for it. I
You-
get. I mean, that's fair. enough.
Arguing so much.
So many arguments. Like up here on the desk. But the point that I'm trying to make, slowly, is that both of these team compositions have so much power and so much individuality and so much comfort for these players that it is bound to be an explosive game.
It really is.
All right. I want
Anything
predictions.
interesting, Bacon? I see you gazing into the distance.
Nope.
There's nothing interesting
Things
at all
are
there.
pretty much what we expected.
Nope, nothing there.
I was just checking to see who was playing what.
Predictions.
Oh, why do you make me do this? I'm going with Cloud9.
Cloud9.
All right, Cloud9 from both of the analysts. Let's find out what our casters have to think. For North America today, we have Jaws and Jingyi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. And wow, a instant pause as we now get to rip apart why the analysts were wrong, maybe. I mean, just going on statistics here. Cloud9, 7 points total right now. Gankstars, 15. So, do the numbers lie? That's the question.
I was just really into the action of the game at the time, and now it's paused.
Woof.
Perplexed.
Perplexed, same. I mean, them just walking down to the jungle, man. That is what I get excited for. I get
No, they
excited for
were
level 1
stalking.
scraps, actually.
They were stalking down to the jungle, and we're about to see a big fight break out, and now we see nothing.
We were
Now see
about
nothing.
to see a triple kill from somebody, but no, completely denied.
Yep. Yep. Completely denied.
Well, there we go. Well, it does give us a little time to give the people our own little kind of breakdowns on these, and very strong drafts coming out from both these teams. Joseph's actually on this petal, which they obviously pointed out on the desk, which seems like super strong for him.
You know, oh, we're back.
Whew, thank God for that.
You know, the petal does seem super strong. I feel that so far in the past few weeks, she's not been as effective as we might have hoped. I think partly just because what we see a lot of players doing is that they prioritize a lot of attack and just a lot of damage, and they get focused on really quickly, particularly in the mid to late game, and I think that really makes the whole team composition suffer.
Yeah, I mean the kind of benefit to Petal, especially in solo queue, because she's quite hard to actually counter if you haven't got kind of an organized team. But Gankstars showing the complete opposite right now. A lot of the analysts were obviously praising them for their synergy, but saying Cloud9, you know, they may just have better individual players. We'll see if that actually does come to fruition in this best of 3, because this is what I've been looking forward to: the 2nd seed versus the 3rd seed, and not necessarily too close on points, but this is going to be a very, very tough match, I think, for both teams.
It is going to be a very tough match. Just looking at Gankstars' composition, they've got that attack and they also have that fortress as well. That's a double mortal wound coming out there. And that's going to make it very difficult, not only for Gabe Fizzle on that Adagio, but also for I Love Joseph and that combustion just coming out. I think it's just mainly to counteract Gabe Fizzle there, and it's going to make it so difficult. We see a lot of teams having to focus on getting around to the wolves, and a lot of teams just play around the attack of the pack, and I think that's a tactic that works so well.
Yeah, it really does. We saw the Fortress come out the other day, yesterday, when me and you were casting, and it really just depended how the Fortress managed to get the attack of the pack off, and if it was able to disrupt. If teams kind of disengaged from the attack of the pack, killed off the wolves, then kind of re-engaged, they always seem to win the fight, because after that, the Fortress doesn't really have that much impact in the fights, it seemed.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive. The composition coming from Gankstars is super aggressive. You'll be seeing, hopefully, we'll be seeing a lot of attack coming. We're actually seeing a little bit right now in Gabe Fizzle, but he's able to escape. So Xenotech stylistically, he's super in your face. We've seen him just like on any hero. He's just early to mid game, just always invading, just always just getting those attacks and just forcing them back. And actually, what's going on here with I Love Joseph?
Oh yeah, I was going to say, speaking of invading, Joseph is going to hop over the wall. Rector's going to be there as well. Gabe Visual a little bit caught up. No mortal wounds on him just yet, so he will be able to just kind of get away, not a problem, and heal himself up. As Xenotech getting chased out here by Joseph and his little minions. He will be able to just pop away in the little rice box, but other than that, that's going to be about it. And you mentioned instantly that Xenotech was, really aggressive up in your face, and then Joseph says, nah, you know what, so am I.
Petal's a great counter. Petal is a great counter attacker. This makes it very difficult for him to use his Kaku and disappear. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of that, especially in the later game. And it's actually interesting. I Love Joseph, also super aggressive. It was always fun seeing I Love Joseph play against Von C in the past, just because it was just two super aggressive junglers just going right at each other. But I think this one has been quite a slow start, actually. We've just been seeing a few kind of pokes coming out from both of the teams. Not really any kills picked up for either of them.
Yeah, nothing too serious yet, really. I mean, Cloud9 and Gankstars, they're both more methodical, I could say. I mean, Gankstars definitely, their wave control in the past has just been absolutely spectacular, and the way they play the map as well has just been absolutely superb. And we'll probably see that this game as well. Rakizoro, always a guy to watch. He is going to be on that Ringo. Gabe is all just poking away Rekt at this current moment in time. And you can imagine Rekt is going to have a little bit of a hard time until they actually find that engage and when he does hit that level 6 power spike. Joseph is in the jungle here. Xenotech's just dealing a little bit of damage, but Joseph is caught up in the mix. There we go. He does end up going down. Rekt picks up the first blood, but Old School doing a lot of damage. Might be able to pick up a kill here. He does indeed. Xenotech's going to have to dash away. Goldmine is going to come through as well. Old School is still getting chased by Rakizoro. Probably won't be able to finish off Xenotech unless he finds him in the next couple of seconds. Gankstars with 2 kills there. C9 with only just the 1.
Oh no.
Old School still trying something here, but Rakizoro is going to be a hot on his tail. Crystal Sentry is going to come to aid, but Gankstars still, they're going to get A with a camp and a couple of kills. Nice
flank there coming out from from Gankstars at the top. They're able to just cat trap I Love Joseph, pick up the kill there really easily, and Gabe Bizzle and Old School, they put up a good fight, but at least Old School was able to get away there. And I think for Xenotech, it's about just diving straight into the back line. That is what that tackle is supposed to be doing. He's got a Storm Crown already, really great at pushing those objectives down. Probably be going for that aftershock a little bit later on, and for him to jump onto I Love Joseph actually.
Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, Joseph's going really low actually. I think Fountain was popped there as well by Gabe Visual, just all the healing to try and get the disengage. Xenotech's going to jump in as well. Does take a lot of damage, however. He's going to have to back off very, very sharpish. Almost goes down to the Munions. And they're doing a fair bit of work at the moment. Level 6 on I Love Joseph, so yeah, he's quite strong. But C9, they looked like they were going to get pincered yet again.
They do, and I think that's the thing about Cloud9 is that in the past few weeks, you have seen slight positional mistakes coming up from them. They're very strong individually, and they're still quite strong as a team. But I think Gankstars living together in that team house, Analysts touched on this earlier, it just gives them that extra edge, and it's really showing in their matches in the past few weeks.
Yeah, that extra bit of synergy, it's always going to help you at the end of the day, really. I mean, if, like everything on the desk said, it is going to go down. Is it, though? That's the question. Rekt's going to come through. Old School is going to get jumped on. He's going to just jump away as well, but Rekt is taking a lot of damage to the front line. He's going to have to be careful, but no, it doesn't really matter because Rakizoro is just going to be able to pick up the kill. Gabe Visual is not going to be able to heal him in time. That Fountain was just not even used in that fight. X-Retsu straight onto Joseph. Joseph's going really low. Rakizoro taking turret hits. Rekt is going to have to escape as well. One more hit will do it from Gabe Visual. Only just managing to survive. Does manage to get away, but yet again, Gankstars come through with a kill.
They come through with a kill, but they lose their turret, and actually that was really nice. This really nice idea coming out from Cloud9. They recognize that they're away, and we also saw the minion candy coming out, and they just did so much damage to that turret so quickly that Gankstars just weren't able to get up there in time. But when they do come back for the team fights, they're actually doing really well. Xenotech did just jump onto I Love Joseph. No one really has that much defense, particularly I Love Joseph, who only really has any weapon arm. Sorry, he only has armor, and that's mainly for Rakizoro. So it's not going to be too effective against Xenotech. So Xenotech's really capitalizing on that at the moment.
Yeah, he does a lot of early damage, and with that Storm Crown as well, he's just packing an extra bit of a punch, and like you mentioned, he is going to be able to pick up a nice little power spike here as well in a second. He's not going to be able to pick up the full aftershock, but nevertheless, Cloud9, they are going to start up the gold miner here. With that, hopefully just be able to swing the gold lead more in their favor. But Rekt is going to spot him out. Attack of the Pack is available. Rakizora is going to be here. Xenotech slowly following up. There comes the Hellfire Brew. It's only going to land on Joseph. No burn damage, though. It was blocked. Goldminer going really low here. Attack of the Pack is going to get popped. Here comes Xenotech. He's going to fly on in. But already, Fortress is just going to fall by the wayside. Rakizora and Xenotech are just so low HP. And they're going to have to go away. Well, Rakizora is going to have to flee here as Xenotech goes down. And Goldmine goes over to Cloud9. That was a very, very risky fight for Gankstars to take because Xenotech wasn't there when Rekt actually went in.
They weren't. There's a few issues actually that went in with that. So without that Crucible, I think that Crucible and Rekt is so important, not only for the silence coming up from Vox, which Old School used so efficiently because it caught all 3 of the members. They weren't able to do anything. And you also need it for that Versatile Judgment on Gave Vizzle. And going in without that, while the minion, the gold miner is on you, it's just not the best idea. And as you said, Xenotech wasn't anywhere nearby. He couldn't really, it was a bit of a 2v3 situation at that point. So I don't think it was the best engagement coming up from Gankstars. Maybe it was a fight that they could have won, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. That, at that time, just not the best idea. And actually something else I want to talk about is like, I saw Gabe Vizzle picking up the Slumbering Husk. This isn't something that we see too much. And I'm just kind of questioning it because he's not really the one they're trying to focus on. He's not the one that we're going to be expected to be seeing burst out any second, purely because he is the captain and he's also standing in the back line. You'll be expecting either Joseph or Old School to be picking it up.
Yeah, most definitely. He's been left alone completely, these fights, obviously, not being able to put out the damage that Old School and Joseph can provide, but I don't know, we'll see if the item choice is anywhere near effective in these team fights. Maybe they kind of want to focus him later on in the game. Obviously doing a lot of healing and keeping Old School and I Love Joseph alive is also important. Right, so on this other side of the wall, he does flare out the brush, so they know where Cloud9 are. Rakizora is going to come in trying to contest that tree, and he takes 1 shot, but Old School is going to get it. And with that turret down as well, it leaves Cloud9 a lot of room to move.
And we're definitely seeing them take advantage of that. They've taken the treant away from Gankstars. They've also taken the front minions. They've been able to take the gold mine before Gankstars really noticed. And although it's only a 3k gold lead, it's actually a really fantastic start. They're able to invade more and more into the jungle. We're seeing scout traps being placed by Gabe Vizzle just to help them move that way. Also, going back to Gabe Vizzle's build, he's gone for a heavy prism and some attack speed. So I think might be potentially going for a hybrid captain damage build here coming out from that Adagio.
Oh, well, you know, if he builds damage, they're going to have to focus him, which was where exactly the Slumbering Husk was picked up for, right? And that's I think that's why he's doing it.
So.
Must be.
Oh,
and Current's going to come up.
You have to wonder where the oh, never mind.
Oh, hang on a minute. Attack of the Pack is going to come through. Rakizora jumps on, but Gabe Vizzle is completely alone. That Crucible is going to block so much damage, but Xenotech's just going to fall here. Rakizora in the back line as well, as Cloud9 just clean up some of these kills. Rekt is going to get wrecked in a second. Joseph jumps over, hippity hoppity bounce. See you later. Ace comes through for Cloud9. Yet again, just being on top of these team fights, they're going to take the Crystal Sentry. 2 lives remaining, and possibly this turret as well. What a fantastic fight yet again from Cloud9.
A really fantastic team fight. So I think Gankstars did actually have the head start on that. They were doing really well. They were getting the damage down. But I think Gabe Vizzle, because nobody was really focusing him, he was doing a lot of damage there from the back because he was able to get a lot of heals down. The Agent of Wrath, he was just on Xenotech, and that was just shredding him. And then we had a bit, the fight kind of dispersed at one point, so we saw Gabe Vizzle on Rakizora, and I Love Joseph Odosker with Xenotech and Rekt. So that Slumbering Husk just really came through because he would have died so much sooner, and he was actually able to pick up the kill on Rakizora, which is what you need. But the thing is, this is very much an early game build. As if we go into the late game, you want your Adagio, you want your captain to have that the defensive and utility the items with utility that you want. So that's my only concern. But if we can finish this game fast enough, then it's going to go great.
Yeah, I mean, alternating current one's obviously just picked up with Gabe Vizzle, so yeah, like you mentioned, hybrid build coming out from him, and I'm kind of curious to see what he goes next, honestly. Is it going to be more damage, or is it going to be like an Atlas Pauldron to make sure Rakizora can't do as much DPS as he, possibly can with the Twirling Silver? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Gabe Vizzle, yeah, bit of an interesting build, but it seems to be working out so far for them. 6-3 on the scoreboard right now, 5k in the lead as well in terms of gold. Infusions being picked up, both for Old School and Joseph, and Gabe Vizzle does have one in his inventory. He's going to spot out Rekt with the flare. Xenotech is on the other side. There comes the Hellfire Brew. It's going to get blocked, not a problem. Xenotech's in stealth. He's going to find someone. Attack of the Pack's going to get popped as well. But Arakizora in the back line, he's the one doing the damage. First comes down, but Rex is going to go down. Almost there goes Arakizora first. Rex is going to get finished up as well as Xenotech falls. Cloud9, yet again, coming out on top with these team fights. And they've lost hardly any health as well.
That alternating current is just doing absolute wonders for Cloud9. It's just absolutely incredible. And I've got to put a lot, so much there onto that Verse of Judgment. It was blocked, yes, but actually a lot of the damage still went through there. And it's just such a fantastic opportunity because there's so much damage on the side of Cloud9 right now. We're earlier enough in the game that if you look at the building side of Gankstars, Xenotech doesn't have that much defense. Cold Plate's not doing too much. Arakizoro, reflex block and light shield, that's not going to do anything actually in these team fights, and I think that's part of the reason why they're going down. But going against that previous point is, if we do go into the late game, that's when Gankstars are going to start winning, because we will have the defense, they will have the utilities and items that we need. So I would like to see Gabe Vizzle go for that the War Treads next. I think that'd be really great for the engagements and for just chasing, catching up.
I mean, he's got tier 2 boots right now. He's got the outcart in his back pocket also. I mean, Cloud9 at the moment, they are winning these team fights, but like you mentioned, if they do take it to the late game, will they still be able to do that? The problem is, I think I love Joseph is just doing so much work in these fights as well. His mobility mixed with just his ridiculous outburst of damage with the Broken Myth is just not something that Rek can deal with at all. I mean, he's got Fountain, Crucible, he's obviously got a little bit of armor in there as well, but like you mentioned, there's no massive defensive items coming out from Arakizoro or Xenotech at this current time. He did actually pick up a Shatter Glass instead of the Aftershock. And so that again, maybe should have gone more defensive to survive through these fights, because at the moment, as soon as Rex seems to fall, who's the tankiest member on the side of Gankstars, Xenotech is next to get picked up because he's right in the middle of it all, and then Arakizoro is soon to follow.
Yes, it's difficult for Cloud9 because they're in such a strong position right now. They've got their 8k ahead in gold, and Gankstars are doing everything they can just to protect the jungle back there. But actually, Arakizoro might be caught out. They see him. I think Gankstars are slightly out of position right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to prevent that turret from going down.
Yeah, I'm not sure they are. Attack of the Pack is going to get popped. That turret obviously is down at the moment. Hellfire Brood does come through. Burst of Judgment separating the team. Does a fair bit of damage, but this time it might be in Gankstars' favour. But Rex is going really low once more. But no, there we go. Joseph falls in the end. Arakizoro trying to kite back now, but Old School just doing so much work. Picks up one. Adagio picks up the next. And Xenotech are the last member alive. And no, completely denied. Old School is going to pick himself up a double kill. The ace, Cloud9, are going to take game 1 in almost a sub-15-minute game.
That was an absolutely ridiculous game. Actually, in that last team fight just there, Old School, 20 breaking point stacks. And if you look at Arakizoro, there's a bit of a 1v1 going on there. Arakizoro, just with that tornado trigger, just the fight was just going on so long. The damage is not going to match up against Old School's 20 breaking point stacks. He was also infused at the time. And also with the gold, you have to take into account the gold deficit. Arakizoro just does not have the gold to match up the Old Schools. It was such a promising fight at the start, but because no one was actually really focusing on Old School at the very, very beginning, they really suffered for it in the end.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gold distribution as well. Old School, he's got 9,500 gold. 3,000, a third more than Arakizoro had. I mean, that was absolutely incredible play from Cloud9. You said maybe not the late game their strongest, but they decided, you know what, we'll end it almost pre-15. AJ, I think you guys need to break this game down a little bit more. We'll throw it over to you. We'll see you in a minute.
I've got to agree with you, Jaws. Man, the biggest thing for me, I was expecting this series to be super close. But that was like a 15-minute game. It wasn't particularly close. I feel like Cloud9 looked extremely strong the entire way through.
Yeah, Gankstars dug themselves.